There wasn't quite anything as satisfying in retro gaming as cracking open a new PlayStation demo disc. Packed with all sorts of fun demos, they gave us the best possible previews of upcoming PlayStation games, and were many gamers' introductions to what would go on to be absolute classics. Games like Medieval, Spyro the Dragon, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, and even Metal Gear Solid all got a huge amount of hype from these discs. But there were plenty of games that appeared on demo discs that felt like they were just added to pad out the number of games, and one such game is our subject of today's Rapidfire, Intelligent Qube, a game that didn't do so well in the United States, but it's a game worth a title far beyond just cult classic, not only for the game itself, but for the reason of its existence. Intelligent Qube, or IQ, is a puzzle game involving blowing up blocks as they come towards you. You lay traps to blow them up, using special green blocks to destroy groups of them, while avoiding the indestructible black blocks. You have to destroy all of them to advance to the next part of the stage. With 9 stages in all, if you know what you're doing, it only takes about an hour to beat. At the time of the game's release in the 90s, puzzle games were bright and colorful, arcade-style romps designed to be played with friends to test just how far you could get. But IQ is different. It's dark. It's foreboding. It's outright intimidating, controlling a character right down on the playing field as the blocks tower over their head. And while the game itself did have music, the demo was made far more unique by having nothing but sound effects. The utter lack of soundtrack was unique, and in a lot of ways, scary. Between the blank background, the fact that you're so small compared to everything else, the lack of music, and the sounds of the blocks approaching, this can almost be classified as a horror game. In fact, some comments on YouTube say that the game intimidated them as kids. That might be why the game didn't sell very well in the US. It was trying something so out there, so different, that people were scared off. Not to mention it had to share the jam pack with some big name games, namely Tomb Raider 2 and Parappa the Rapper. So, despite positive reviews, it never really caught on. But there's more to the game than just that. The designer behind it was Masahiko Sato, a professor at Tokyo University of the Arts. Sato is not a game designer. He specialized in advertising, research and development, and how they relate to expression and teaching methods. He experimented with all kinds of mediums, TV shows, advertisements, movies, books, and has received numerous awards over the years for his work. In a 1997 interview with PlayStation Magazine, he said that the idea for the game simply popped into his head one day, but he didn't want this to be like other puzzle games. He was fascinated with the idea of impermanence, that is to say, seeing movies or games or other projects that only briefly are popular. Masahiko specifically designed IQ to circumvent many game conventions and instead be both timeless and memorable, something that would leave a lasting impact and be remembered for years to come. The unforgettable atmosphere, the feeling of oppression when you're playing, and the eerie classical soundtrack created by famed Japanese composer Takayuki Hattori helped to achieve that goal. IQ sadly didn't sell well in the United States, although it actually was quite the hit in Japan, where it sold almost 750,000 copies, and it was included in the eventual US release of the PlayStation Classic, and for very good reason. IQ is more than just a puzzle game. It was many gamers' first foray into the idea that games are more than just fun distractions. They can make you feel emotions even if you're not sure why, and they can hook you without needing a story, and thus its legacy lives on, one of the earliest and greatest examples of gaming as an art form tucked away in the corner of a dusty old demo disc. And that is your Retro Rapidfire. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and of course subscribe to the channel, as I put out 2 new videos a week, Game Boy Roulette every Friday, and Dollar Store Gaming 10 Things You Missed, or Retro Rapidfire every Monday. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.